Eric DeCosta, the Ravens general manager. We touched earlier on the fact that Lamar Jackson is one of the quarterbacks on deck for a new contract. 3 years in, he has proven he's a great quarterback. And this is a dilemma for the Ravens. If he doesn't have an agent, how far, Charean, do you push this? How much do you take advantage of the situation if it's not a skilled and seasoned agent who understands the nuances of the contract? There's talk that it's going to be Lamar Jackson's mom and her lawyer. And just because you get a lawyer involved, that doesn't mean the lawyer understands. Lawyers think they can figure anything out. Trust me, I was one. But that doesn't mean you can figure it out. You act like you know, and then you're kind of like, well, maybe I don't know, but I'll act like I know, and that's half the battle. You need people who really do know how the sausage has gotten made in other cases. And in a situation like this, you can end up with a deal that looks really good on paper, but then when you start picking around the details, it's not nearly as good. And you've got the template now with Dak Prescott's deal, but, you know, the difference is Lamar Jackson isn't anywhere close to having the leverage that Dak Prescott had. That's the leverage that you have when you're in the second year of your franchise tag, knowing that there can't be a third franchise tag. So Lamar Jackson really has 2 more years under his rookie deal, and then another year after that. He's 4 years away, 3 years away from being in the same position Dak Prescott's in, and he could do what Dak did and say, no, I'm not doing a deal, no, I'm not doing a deal, no, I'm not doing a deal. So he's at the front end of something that Dak had to deal with, and he has to deal with it for 1 more year because he's going to be under contract for 5 years under his rookie deal instead of 4. So this is not going to be easy. And the sooner it gets done, the cheaper it's necessarily going to be for the team.
And I do think that's where you need somebody to advise you, Mike, somebody who knows what they're doing, because otherwise I could see Dak Prescott signing a deal way back when that wasn't nearly as good as what he got yesterday. And so Lamar Jackson does need some good advice. Whoever that comes from, he needs to seek it out and figure out how he's going to get this deal done and when he's going to get this deal done. So hopefully he has somebody advising him who knows what they're doing. If not, I could definitely see the Ravens getting a good deal, a much better deal than they should out of Lamar Jackson.
Yeah, and look, I don't think Dak Prescott went into his negotiations in 2019 saying, I'm going to say no, and I'm going to say no, and I'm going to play this out, and I'm going to end up making a ton of money a couple of years from now. I think the Cowboys made it easier for him because they didn't make him an offer he couldn't refuse. And when you're Lamar Jackson, you got a physical playing style. And yes, he's been able to stay healthy so far, but you can use that to your advantage. It's all about what you put on the table that he will or won't say yes to. It's how risk averse is he when it comes to his money? Does he want that generational payday? Does he want it even if it's less than what it would be if he pushed it to the limit? These are all things that need to be worked out between Lamar, whoever is advising him, and the Ravens. But I can understand why the Ravens want to do it now, because it's always more expensive the longer you wait. If they're sold on Lamar Jackson, and they've basically reconfigured their offense around him, so they need him. If they're sold on this guy and they're not concerned about getting 2 years out from signing him to a long-term deal like the Eagles and the Rams did with Wentz and Goff and saying, what the hell did we do? Then swoop in, make him an offer he can't refuse now so you don't start on that path toward franchise tag 1, franchise tag 2, and you basically are over and in and under a barrel like the Cowboys were with Dak Prescott.
And you better be sure, Mike. I mean, we use the Carson Wentz and Jared Goff as cautionary tales, right? And this guy has had one good year, frankly. They were not very good passing-wise last year. They won some games. They got to the playoffs. Lamar Jackson has not been good in the postseason, 1-3 in the postseason. Even though his regular season record is terrific, he's gotten to the playoffs every single season. Be sure that this is the guy who's going to lead you to the Super Bowl before you commit the money. We saw it with Joe Flacco, right? They gave him the big money after the Super Bowl, the MVP award, and frankly, he didn't live up to that contract after. I know why they did it. I get it. I understand it. If they had it to do over again and could see into the future, they wouldn't have given Joe Flacco that contract.
That was the last time a team was in the same kind of compromised position that the Cowboys were in with Dak, and the Ravens have learned from that. They're not going to let themselves get into that trap again where they have no choice but to break the bank. They can fracture the bank, but not flat out break it, and make Lamar Jackson happy, and I think they're going to be motivated to do it. All right.
Hi, I'm Mike Tirico, and thanks for watching. Make sure to hit subscribe for the latest news and highlights from NBC Sports.